Hey there, everyone, and welcome back to the Elder Scrolls of Guild and Coin. Um, uh, if you happen to have missed the previous episode, this is a game that is based off of 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. And in the description down below, I will include a link to the website for the unofficial Elder Scrolls tabletop game. All of the downloads there are available. And it's pay what you want. However, I do encourage providing donations to the creator because he has done such an amazing job. I'm more than a little impressed by how much he's managed to pull together in order to create this homebrew system for Dungeons and Dragons in Tamriel. So with um, okay, I just got a message from you, Brenna, and you're not the only person who shares that sentiment. That's all I'll say. I know several other people who feel the same way. Um, but um, yeah. So where we left off, the group has managed to make it to Wayrest and are preparing for their journey northward into the Wrothgar Mountains. Um, our little party has managed to do a little bit of shopping, a little bit of reading, a little bit of crafting, and then gone into the local tavern where they have met our newest member to the party, an Altmer mage by the name of Amrit. And on top of that, had managed to get involved in a cooking competition, which Ajanti horribly failed and got himself sick off of. So Ajanti and Julinak and Lilith are staying behind in town and will catch up with the rest of the party. The rest of the party is going to forge on northward toward the Wrothgar Mountains. As you guys set out in the morning, the fog is kind of coming in from Iliac Bay. The the scent of the sea is heavy on the air. The dew is collecting on a lot of the plants and even dripping off of some of the signage. And there's even just a little bit of rain. It's actually kind of peaceful and nice and quiet out here in the early morning hours in Wayrest. Um, so, um, before you head out, if you'd like to get any provisions for traveling, um, uh, let me know what you would like to pick up.
I need to get some traveling food.
Okay.
Same here.
Okay. Um, from the inn, you can actually request some rations and whatnot from the chef. He usually keeps some on hand because there are a lot of travelers that pass through Wayrest. And those are fairly inexpensive, like maybe 1 septim a piece. It's pretty basic. It's like mixed nuts, maybe a slab of smoked fish or dried meat. A few water
Okay.
skins.
I want to pick up some clothing for the colder weather.
Okay. There is a tailor in town. And you can either craft your own clothing or you can buy the clothing from the tailor.
You cut out.
You can either craft the clothing or you can buy the clothing from the tailor.
I'm assuming buying from the tailor is much more time effective.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. She will see about getting just some clothes from there. So some probably like thicker pants, a like some layers for shirts and things like that, and gloves to
Okay.
protect your hands.
A lot of them are in the Nord or Orcish style, because they're built to handle that kind of weather. Yeah. Zoe, did you want to pick anything up in town before heading out, aside from the food?
Oh, I also wanted to find a someone who sells large dogs that I could perhaps use for a riding dog.
So, the stables, when you get there, unfortunately only have horses. As you are in a Breton setting.
Okay, I will wait then.
Being a Khajiit, how warm does my fur keep me? Will I be affected by the colder weather?
It keeps you decently warm. You do tend to favor warmer weather.
I'm sorry, you cut out. Will you repeat that?
It does keep you somewhat warm. However, you do tend to prefer warmer weather.
So should I invest in some nice clothes for the cold?
It wouldn't hurt.
Alright, then I'll join Nasira in that endeavor. And I'll be like, oh yes, bring me the child's clothes.
Toshtar, anything you wanted
to cut little holes for your tails, so that way you don't have to
buy some clothes to mutilate the clothes. Perfect.
Actually, the tailor, she gets plenty of Khajiit customers, so she does set it up so that it's fitting for a Khajiit. Toshtar, anything you'd like to pick up in town before you guys embark?
I will also pick up some warmer clothes.
Okay. So the full clothing set will cost you guys maybe about 50 gold tops each. For like the full set, for just the torso and legs, you're probably looking at maybe 40.
Okay. Well, I already had the boots. I just wanted gloves that leather gloves and
Yeah, then in that case about 45.
Okay.
Okay. So, you guys begin to head toward the north gate. You pass through the residential district. You pass the tavern, and pass out through the gate. And again, the weather's really nice. It's kind of raining a little bit. Quite foggy at the moment. And you follow the road northward until eventually it forks. And Emry, you've got a map of Stormhaven. Since you were already planning on traveling through. And so you kind of direct everyone to take the leftward fork, and you guys follow it along. And eventually, up on a hill along the way, you guys see a tower built of stone. It's typical Breton architecture, but it looks older. But on either side of the road ahead, both from the area around the tower and on the left-hand side, you guys see the telltale signs of campfires on the left and the fires of, well, not campfires on the right. And to a certain extent, you can even hear the clashing of swords and the casting of spells.
So, in one direction, there's campfires and marshmallows. The other direction, there's death and destruction.
And the road is flanked by both of them. You're not sure if along the road up ahead if any of the conflict is spilling out into the road, but because your way is partially obscured by trees. But there's only one way to find out, and that's moving forward. Unless you choose to take a different direction.
The one who has the map says we go this way, so
follow the leader.
We shall go this way. I do not shy from combat.
Emreed.
Yes.
You remember, like, since you were staying for a couple of days in Wayrest, You remember overhearing some of the city guards mentioning how up at Cumberland's Watch, um, there have been some issues with a nearby goblin encampment, and you're not sure how heavy the issue has been of late. But in part, that was why you were hoping to get an armed escort heading northward. So to that extent, you do have a feeling that you might know what's going on up ahead on the road. So it's up to you how you'd like to lead the party.
I inform them of possible goblins ahead, and kind of slink into the middle of the group.
Can I ask to be on someone's shoulders?
Do you want to be on the tall person's shoulders?
Pick me up, please.
Oh, heck yes.
I'll be a lookout. Whatever direction you want me to
Or a
look, I'll
scaredy
be a
cat,
lookout.
whichever.
The mages are stacked on top of one another.
We are the mage podum.
Yes.
You guys are in fireball formation.
Woo!
2 mages with 1 blast.
It's a twofer.
Toshtar, do you want it to be ahead of the mages or behind?
Sorry, what? You cut out.
Do you want to be on top? Do you want to be on top of the mages?
Stack 'em all.
Increase the totem.
I'm not that strong.
Do you want to be in front of the mages or behind?
I will be in front.
Okay. Zira, where would you like to be?
She will stay close by, to the mages, but keeping her eye, up ahead.
Okay. All right. Then
She will make sure to stand with herself between the perceived danger and the mages, but seeing as he is 2.5 feet taller than her, with another 3 feet of cat on top of him, she's not the best meat shield, unless she does a lot of acrobatic.
where's Julinak when you need him?
Right? Best meat shield. Orc Daddy provides. He provides food, he provides lodging, he provides meat shield. He's a very good provider. We miss him.
All right. So you guys head forward. On the right-hand side, the trees break away to a almost like a clearing or a plains around a fortified settlement, which on the map is labeled as Cumberland's Watch. Indeed, some of the buildings around it are kind of on fire, as opposed to being not on fire or on fire. They're only kind of on fire. And there's definitely some combat going on over there. To the left side, it slopes downward, and kind of over a little bit of the hills, you can see there are several encampments, and I mean they're dug into the ground practically with animal bones and hides, kind of serving as sort of like makeshift tents. Crates and stuff near the road have been broken open and looted, and off in the distance, you can kind of hear some chatter going on in the encampment between like it definitely does not sound like any language that you guys speak, but the voices are unmistakably goblin down there. So you're not sure up ahead if there's anything in or near the road. But as you progress, you do see a small, and I use this term loosely, battalion of goblins headed up toward the keep.
And goblins are things that should be killed on sight, right?
That's up for debate.
Are they normally killed on sight? Like, is this normally a issue and or that we could get paid for?
Paid for most likely. This keep is one of the main defenses on the way to Wayrest. So they could probably use some help.
Okay. How far away are the goblins?
Maybe about 50 feet ahead.
Okay. I'm a pot shot one of them with Eldritch Blast.
Okay. I would like you all to go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh, and I will also move, put a little more distance between me and Imrit so they're not in direct line of return fire.
Yeah.
I need to get the player's handbook.
So I've got Zira with a 19, Toshtar with a 22, Zoe with an unnatural 20.
Sorry, typing was not here. Wrong chat. There.
And Emrit with a 16. Okay.
And cantrips don't cost any magicka, right?
No, they do not. So I will give you guys a surprise round, as the goblins were not really paying attention to what may be down the road. So go ahead and fire off your Eldritch Blast.
Okay. See, that'd be a 19 plus my 5.
Goodness
A
gracious.
24 to hit.
Does
Does that hit him? I guess it hits him.
No, turns out one of them's actually a troll. No, you do manage to hit one of the smaller goblins in the party.
Okay, it takes 9 points of damage.
Okay. So you fire off this streak of
And
magic.
I move 30 feet. Actually, no, I'll move 15 feet ahead of Imri.
Okay.
Or the mages, so that way I can be a pseudo meat shield as I yell at the goblins orcish of "Fight me, you insolent swine!"
Your Eldritch Blast streaks down the road and smacks into one of the goblin soldiers and sends him flying, and he smacks up against a rock and falls limp. And the whole group turns and looks at you, and they draw their weapons. And one of the more heavily armored goblins even lifts up a staff defensively. So Toshtar, go on ahead.
I will also do an Eldritch Blast.
Alrighty.
That is a 15 to hit.
That will win.
Okay. That is 7 damage.
Very nice. Another Eldritch Blast flies into the group, and you watch as another as another Gerblin takes a hit, and he kind of falls briefly before getting back up. And now he's angry. Next up would be Zoe.
How far away are they?
From you about 50 feet.
50 or 15?
50.
50.
Dang it. I need to get closer.
Are you gonna steer your mount, or are you gonna dismount this tall elf?
Well, how much range does a crossbow have?
Is it a light crossbow?
Yes, it's a light crossbow. I'm too far away to magic.
I think light crossbows had 60.
Then I'll
Crossbows
fire off
have like
one of
100
those.
or some crazy content.
It is 80 and then 320.
Okay, yeah.
So definitely within range.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and fire off one of those.
Okay. So, amid these goblins, you count maybe about 12 of them, not including the larger one with the staff. So which one would you like to shoot?
A close one. Just like whatever one's like one of the first in like the group that's closest to us.
Okay. Go ahead and fire.
I got a 16.
A 16 will hit.
Wonderful. 7 damage.
7. So your crossbow bolt flies down the road, and the goblin that just managed to pick himself back up after being smacked in the face by a bolt of force from Tashtar suddenly finds a crossbow bolt between his eyes, and he falls limply to the ground.
He is having a very bad day.
Not anymore.
Well, depends. Do goblins have an afterlife?
Only the goblins know. All right, next up would be Zira.
How many goblins are there?
Well, now there are 11 of the lesser armored goblins, and one which you presume to be the leader, who's wielding kind of a staff, and his armor is decorated with all sorts of like bones and trophies and whatnot, and his face is even painted. You get the feeling he's either kind of like a leader for them or a mage. The staff is kind of a dead giveaway as far as whether or not he's a mage.
Well, hold up. Where'd my turn go?
Yours is a 16 and I have a 19. No, that was the surprise round. I got surprise and shot them, and then the actual round started.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the goblin in charge.
Mm-hmm.
I cast Hex upon him.
Alrighty.
And what kind of... You said he looks like he does what?
You're pretty sure he might...
Looks like he's a mage?
Yeah, he's wielding a staff. It looks to be a destruction staff, so he very likely knows how to use it.
Okay. Give me
So the way Hex works, he doesn't have to make a
I know,
check.
I'm trying to pick which stat to fuck him over on. I'm gonna go with his willpower.
Okay.
Because
So
we have several mages in our party, and that seems like a fair enough.
yeah. Okay, so
screw him
he'll have disadvantage on wisdom on willpower saves until the curse ends.
Yep.
And you'll be able to do an extra 1d6 necrotic damage whenever you hit him with an attack.
Yep,
So-
and that was my bonus action, and I had already moved 15 feet towards him, so I only need 25 feet to close the gap on him?
50 minus 15. I think
No, sorry,
it's
35.
It's 35
right?
feet.
35.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll move another 15.
Okay. So you're now 30 feet away from him.
Uh-huh. And let's see. What's I'll go ahead and throw a dagger at him.
Okay. Go ahead and let loose your dagger. Which dagger?
Just a regular dagger.
Okay.
One of the many cheap ones I have picked up. Thus. I have quite a few. I'm getting a collection. Let's see. Does a 21 hit?
21 hits.
Okay, good.
I'm guessing you're throwing it at the leader?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to make sure his attention is on me.
Okay.
He takes 11 points of damage.
Okay.
Way to go, Hex.
All right. Okay, after Zira, we have so he kind of he glares at you and goes to pull the dagger out of his shoulder.
You cut out.
He glares at you and kind of painfully pulls the dagger out of his shoulder and tosses it onto the ground. Then raises his staff and starts yelling something in Goblin. You can't quite make it out. And then a bolt of electricity streaks down the road toward you. And how does an 8 do you?
To hit?
Yeah.
No.
You managed to dodge out of the way. And
that's like less than half.
Yeah, you managed to dodge out of the way, and he makes some gestures to the other goblins, and then it is Amrit's turn.
Okay. I'm going to cast Toll the Dead on the leader dude.
You're gonna cast what? I'm sorry.
Toll the Dead.
Since he's been injured.
Yes. Let's see, it's not a 2-hit, right?
No.
I don't think.
Okay, let me pull up.
I have it. I have it here.
Is this one of the ones from the supplement?
No. He needs to make a will save.
Yes. I picked the best choice.
How does a 1 do?
That is great, thank you.
It is an unnatural 1.
Okay.
Can I get the name of that spell again, slowly?
Toll the Dead.
Toll the Dead.
It's from Xanthar's Guide.
Yeah.
And he takes 19 points of necrotic damage.
Holy shit.
Uh-huh.
Yep. if he's missing any of his hit points, they take a. And since we're past 5th level, it's 2d12.
So
That spell.
so you kind of raise your hand ominously, and the goblin stops in his tracks, and Zira, from your vantage point, you can see his eyes widen in fear.
As a little bell chimes. Yep. Little ding-ding.
Not even a little bell. And a seemingly disembodied sound of a ringing church bell chimes once. And these skeletal hands just reach up out of the ground and start pulling at him, pulling him down to the ground, and they begin to practically tear him to shreds. He's not dead yet, but he's really wishing he was. The other goblins see this, and they're definitely afraid, but they've got a job to do, and he told them what to do.
All of their life choices, though.
They are, but all of them rush Zira.
All right.
So it's about 30 feet. So they do manage to meet with you. Are you ready to fend off a horde of goblins?
Oh yes. Bring it on. Because I have repose, so if they fail to miss me, I can attack them back.
Gotta clear some space for some dice.
AC is 19, by the way, if you want to just make it.
Yeah. Let's see here. So out of the first batch, 1 does hit.
I didn't hear that.
Out of the first batch, 1 does hit.
Okay.
And he is going to deal 8 damage to you with his sword.
Okay.
As he slashes at you.
Did the leader also rush, or did he stay back?
The leader is currently being torn to shreds by skeletal hands.
Okay. Whichever one of the goblins who's attacked who does not, or who looks the strongest.
Mm-hmm.
He missed, and that missed. I'm going to attack him in return as part of my reaction.
Okay.
Nat 20.
Go ahead and describe how you kill him. I'm not even gonna bother with
Okay. As I move to dodge his attack and his friend's attack, I kind of help not only use his friend's miss attack to kind of stab him as well, as I just cut his head and kind of knock it a little bit with the hilt of my sword as it goes through into another guy, so he can catch his friend's head.
Brilliant. So the second batch looks like 4 of them hit you.
Ooh.
They're getting better. I'm just going to use. I'm gonna do all their damage at once.
Okay. I'm currently not raging, so it does. For now. Oh, I'd take the full damage. And oh wait, no, it's.
As a person, I apologize. As a DM, not so much. You take 32 points of slashing damage. Once all is said and done.
Okay.
And there's still 2 more goblins to go.
Okay.
You chose to put yourself between yourself and the wizards. 1 crit misses.
Nice.
And the other one hits. for 8 damage.
Okay.
So these guys rush forward and they're practically climbing on each other to get to you, because as far as they're concerned, you walked up and threw spells at them, and it's your fault that the leader is now being torn to shreds. Not the brightest little fellas. Yeah, and so they're coming in, slashing and hacking and stabbing at you, even as you're killing one or two of their brethren. Which takes us to back to Tashtar.
Okay. So how far away is the goblin leader from me?
Still 50 feet.
Okay, so I'm going to use feline agility to double my speed for 1 turn
Okay.
to run over to the goblin leader and cast inflict wounds on him.
I'm not even going to have you roll on that.
He did.
You cast it and his head explodes, even as the skeletal hands are starting to fade away, and there's just this mash of just shredded gore and stuff on the ground where he used to be. Emery, that's terrifying. Would you like to do anything else with your turn? Are you able to do anything else on your turn?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Next up is Zoe.
That's me. So how far away are they now?
They are a mass of goblins and one red guard, 30 feet away.
How far away are they still?
30 feet away.
Please do not cast area effects on me, please and thank you.
They're about 30 feet away.
Okay. So then I'm just gonna shoot my crossbow at one of the people fighting Zara.
Okay. I will not give you disadvantage, however, I will give you advantage because the way they're clamoring over her makes the goblins an easy target, even with spray and pray.
I rolled a 19. What is the crit for crossbows? Is it 20?
Yeah.
Darn it.
Right, really,
wow.
as far as I know, only fighters and barbarians really get crit ranges in 5th edition. So
There are very few weapons that do.
yeah, but I don't think any of the basic weapons like light crossbows do.
No. It's I think it's only reduced down to blade types that do it now.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, but I assume it hits?
Yeah, it hits.
It'll be 8 damage.
You managed to smack one. You managed to hit one in the knee, and he kind of crawls away from the rest of the party, and you can kind of hear him croaking out in Tamriel, like, "Ah, no! My adventuring career is ruined."
I hate you.
Are you able to do anything else on your turn?
No, I think that's my whole action.
Okay.
That's the only goblin that knows Tamarilik.
So after Zoe is Zira.
All right.
Murder them.
Yeah, with blade in each hand, I'm gonna murder the.
You cut out there. You're going to murder what?
All of them. Just flurry of murder. Okay, let me attack the first one. I assume a 20 hits?
Yes.
Okay. Now that would be max damage so a 13.
You Your blade passes through him like a hot knife in butter, and he falls in 2 pieces to the ground.
Cool. Next, does a 17 hit him?
It does.
That is a 9.
Okay. You manage to shove your blade through him and pull it out, and he limply drops to a knee, clutching his wounds. Not quite dead yet.
Okay. I will move on to a next one.
Mm-hmm.
19 plus my that
Hits.
For 10 points of damage.
With the reverse stroke of that first blade that you swung, it comes back round and lodges itself up through the underside of the chin of the goblin and out the top of his head.
Yeah. So that's 3 separate goblins that I was attacking.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to adrenaline rush.
Goodness gracious.
I need to get rid of these assholes. Too many of them. There's just one too many of them. That one will hit, assuming they don't have an 8
higher than 20?
15.
Oh, 15?
Higher. I rolled a 16.
It hits.
21.
It hits.
Points of damage.
For how many points of damage? You're cutting out. For 10 points of damage. Okay.
Yep.
You pull the blade out of the guy's head and shove it into another guy's head.
Okay. Nat 20.
Goodness gracious.
So I'm gonna assume I murder the crap out of that.
You're cutting out again. You're cutting out again. Do we have an additional device on the internet?
I don't think so, unless Kat's on the internet.
Cat's gone.
No, Kat's in their room.
Oh, I don't know.
But because you nat 20, yeah, you kill him. Weed whacker, there, mofo. Oh, these mofos. Okay.
Yeah.
You can say it there. I'll let you know if it cuts out or not.
18 to hit.
Hits.
Okay. For 9.
Oh, okay.
How
Another.
many are left?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, because I killed 6 of them.
Yeah.
That were on me.
Yeah. You guys can see your red guard now. Okay. Okay.
I will save my superiority. Repose.
Holy shit. Okay. Next up is Amrit.
Okay.
You'd heard her mention that she's got some skills, and you'd heard Zoe mention not to cross her while back at the inn. And now you see why.
Yeah. I'm fully understanding now.
She's a little tiny blade tornado. Yes.
Uh-oh. So I'm going to spend one of my focus points. I'm going to twin spell Firebolt.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to.
Yes.
Plus 8. Fuck. I assume a 10 does not hit?
A 10 does not hit, no.
Okay. Dice, why?
Uh,
Roll on an even surface.
No. That's better.
There. Stop rolling on the cattywampus tilted book.
19?
19 hits.
Okay. So,
So 2d10 fire damage.
Yerp.
move that mouse. 11.
Are you attacking one of the ones that are injured or one of the ones that are not injured?
Go for the non-injured.
No.
One of the
I was
non-injured?
gonna go for non-injured, please.
So Zira, as you're going through and just like murdering in such a way that Sithis would be proud, you turn around and one of the goblins bursts into flames and actually ends up turning into ash right
As
there
is
in front of you.
Whoa.
You're sitting on a hot elf.
Anything else you can do with that turn?
How safe is this ride?
Probably not.
Cool enough to be on it.
I believe that is it, yes.
Okay. Which takes us to
Oh, yeah.
let's see, which takes us to Gerblins. They're starting to freak out a little bit.
Because I just murdered over half of them.
And
And-
their leader's head just exploded.
And they think it's my fault.
They are all going to disengage and try to run back to camp.
Are they actually disengaging or are they just booking it?
They are disengaging.
Aw. They're at least semi-intelligent.
Well, yeah, they're goblins, not animals.
Well, if they were more intelligent, I don't think they in the first place.
They were doing what they were told. They were following orders, but now no orders are being given.
And now there's no more orders being given, so they're gonna run.
Yeah.
Okay. How fast can they run?
Not particularly fast, because
Good.
A, they're tripping over themselves, and B, they're running down down toward the camp where it's kind of somewhat difficult terrain. They'd kind of put up all these bones and crates and stuff as kind of like a makeshift barricade between them and the fort.
That you guys can firebomb.
I just hear Brenna over there. Yes.
Well, she asked how good my agility was because she was gonna do not fireball the cluster.
Oh my goodness, don't fireball the cluster.
I got this. Find a different cluster.
So we're back up at the top of the initiative with Toshtar.
Okay. So, how far are the goblins running away?
At the moment, they've maybe made it about 15 feet.
I'm going to Eldritch Blast.
Okay, go ahead.
That's not going to hit.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
So there's 4 goblins?
Mhm.
Okay.
I do not believe so, no.
Okay. Following him would be Zoe.
How far away are they now?
About 15, or well, okay, they were 15 feet away from you before. They're now roughly 30 feet away.
I'm sorry, you cut out?
They're about 30 feet away.
Okay. How many of them are even left at this point?
4.
Now it's going to be 3 as I shoot another arrow.
It's actually 6.
Oh, there's 6?
Yeah.
Okay. Because there was only 5 left that I hadn't and one of them caught fire.
Okay, I rolled a 2, so I assume I miss.
Yeah, you miss. Your bolt sinks harmlessly into the midden heaps.
Well, I got too distracted by things catching on fire and turning into ash to properly fire
Ooh,
my
pretty.
Go murder them. And you fireball them.
0.
It's my turn. Go open it in the room. We're in the garage. Okay. So they're only 15 feet away from me?
Yeah.
Right. I'm going
You cut out there briefly, but I heard you say close the gap.
Yeah. That's all I had said. Is I'm going to close the gap and start attacking.
Okay.
That will hit.
Okay.
For max damage, so 13.
You run up to one of the slower ones, one of the ones you've injured before, and, like, it's not even a challenge. His head goes flying as you run past.
Next one does a 17 hit.
Yes.
Okay. For 11 points of damage.
You run up to the next injured one, and your swords go right through him. His intestines are now strewn across the ground.
Okay. And the third one. Sorry. There we go. That will also hit. For 8 points of damage.
Sword in the back of the neck. His own momentum slides himself off of the blade, but yeah, he's not alive.
Okay. And then I want to make sure that I move ahead of, so I can kind of cut off their movement.
Ahead of them to cut off their movement?
And I want to try to, I don't know, intimidate them, I guess?
They're already intimidated, but you can go ahead and make an intimidating. You can already make an intimidation check at advantage.
So that would be a 15 because I have nothing in intimidation.
Yeah, they're scared shitless. They turn around and start running back.
Excellent. We're playing Goblin Ping Pong. This is wonderful.
Emery.
Okay.
You have 3 left targets.
I'm going to use another focus point. I am determined to hit 2 things in one turn.
Mm-hmm.
Not us, I hope.
So, a 20 hits.
Yep.
Ooh. So that one takes 11 damage.
He catches fire.
He catches on fire and falls to the ground a burnt husk.
Okay. And the second one, an 18 hits.
Mm-hmm.
6 damage.
He catches on fire and he's screaming while on fire and running.
He's running around on fire. It's great.
It's okay, there are only 2 of them left.
One of which is on fire.
One of which is on fire.
That last goblin who hasn't been hit yet
Is what?
his life choices, all of his life choices up to this point. He should have been a cook.
Should have taken that.
Ajanti.
This is true.
It's the goblins' turn now, and they're going to run toward the keep. A death at the hands of Breton soldiers is far better than this.
I was being swift with their death.
Tashtar, it's your turn.
How far is that one last goblin? That poor son of a bitch.
Well, there are two. They're both running towards you to try to get to the keep.
One of them was on
Okay.
fire.
One of them's on
Oh.
fire.
Well, since you did say there was ping pong, let me return serve. And I'm going to intimidate them by eating their leader.
Wow.
That's worse than the several-day-old Argonian.
Power move.
You reach
Eat the
down.
leader.
You reach down, you pull out the leader's heart, which is still kind of twitching. And you just take a bite as these goblins stop in their tracks in horror. And even the rest of the party is like, what the fuck? And in the back of your mind, you hear a feminine laughter. It's soft, it's low, and in your mouth, suddenly something's hard, almost like metal.
Okay.
That's the worst hairball you've ever had.
I investigate what the hard thing is. That sounded wrong.
You reach into your mouth and you pull out a ring. And it's kind of got a greenish silver color to it, with what appear to be Daedric markings.
Okay.
She likes you. She put a ring on it.
That you pulled it out your mouth instead of the other end.
She's trying to put a ring on it.
Zoe, you've got two goblins who are now, like, frozen in horror between Tashtar and Zira.
Okay, I didn't get any of that.
Zoe, you have two goblins. One's on fire, one's not. They're both terrified and frozen in horror between Tashtar and Zira.
What makes you think I'm not also horrified? I'm just gonna mutter, what? I thought you were done doing that. What the fuck? My turn is being judgmental.
Okay.
Tiny Cat is judging you.
Zira.
Can I just go put those two little goblins out of their misery?
Yeah, I'm not even going to have you roll for it. Like, you walk up and shove one sword each right through their chests, and they both fall limp to the ground.
And then she gives Tashtar that look of, you disgust me, and literally...
And what?
And everyone else. Just disgust. You disgust everyone.
I'll give a shrug of indifference.
In the back of your mind, Tashtar, you hear that familiar voice again. You serve me well, mortal. Have my blessing. Since the Kerblins are all a mess, to put it lightly, you guys have a brief moment to catch your breath and possibly identify this ring if you'd like.
Yes.
I would like to identify that ring.
Oh, I recover my dagger that I had thrown.
You
and he
recover
had
that
pulled out.
dagger that he threw to the floor?
Yes.
Okay.
And I use it to make a notch in the handle of the dagger that I made back in town. And I make little tally marks of...
Is that your trophy?
Yeah.
Your trophy dagger?
Yeah, it's my trophy dagger. I made it myself.
Tashtar, do you have Identify, or do you do it?
I do not have Identify.
You can
You
make
want me
an
to do it
art
for you?
if you'd like. You can make like if you decide not to do the identify spell, you can make an Arcana or a religion check if you'd like. Otherwise, the identify spell would work out pretty well.
I'll try it on my own, but I'm probably going to ask for help anyway.
Okay. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Well, while you're checking out the ring, can I check out the leader?
The leader,
Yeah.
or what's
his
left of him.
staff. Yeah, the staff.
Okay.
Just his staff.
I rolled a 7 on that Arcana check.
I'm gonna pilfer any septum that's on that I have created.
One at a time. So yeah, you don't necessarily recognize this ring, but it does kind of call to you a little bit.
Okay.
So your Altmer friend is over by the by the pile of offal on the ground, taking a look at the staff. It is a destruction staff. Kind of, it's a very common weapon used by mages throughout Tamriel. This one looks to be a destruction staff of shock.
Ooh. I'm gonna write that down.
And the Khajiit walks towards you, like holding the ring in his hand.
Use your words.
Oh, could you help me figure out exactly what this ring is or does or, anything of that sort?
Yes, sure, I can do that. Will you be getting the small murder machine? Share any money loot?
You're like, yeah, you talk to her.
We do not share funds between each other.
He glances back over to no.
That seems what's the word? Unwise. But okay. You guys do what you gotta do. A couple of those I killed, so I expect that money.
You set them on complete fire.
Yes,
Two of them turned to ash.
Yeah, I mean,
That's why you don't burn your kill.
see, metal doesn't necessarily melt. It depends on how hot the firebolt is. Anyway, I will go ahead. So
I'm gonna say hot.
I will go ahead and spend those 2 magicka to cast Identify
Okay.
on the ring. Please and thank you.
You cast Identify, and immediately your mind fills with one of the books that you had read on Daedric princes, specifically Namira. And you recall that there is a ring sacred to Namira, fittingly called the Ring of Namira, which, when worn by a cannibal, can actually allow the cannibal to regain health when they feast upon corpses.
That's a little disturbing.
It's like a more disgusting version of vampire.
Yes. So, Tashtar,
Mm-hmm.
this is aptly called the Ring of Namira, from your Daedric Prince friend. And
We're not friends. Don't.
I just look up lies, go back to picking pockets.
Gave you jewelry, your friends, or it's
Zyra
like a
just called me
sugar
a
daddy.
liar?
yeah, she gave you jewelry. She likes you.
She put a ring on it.
She put
Your sugar mama.
Of the worst kind.
And very dryly, he tells you that you get the hit point back after cannibalism, that kind of stuff,
Regain your life by eating that of others.
by eating the flesh of others.
Okay. I'll take the ring back then.
Yes,
You're the only one in the party who can utilize it.
it is for you.
Lucky
I
you.
mean, Not necessarily. I mean, if anyone else gets into eating people, they could use it.
Yeah, I think you're on your own on that one.
No,
Yeah, I think you're on your own
we're not a group of zombies.
one.
I don't defile corpses. I just make corpses. Once they're dead, I lose interest with them.
Hey, something's gonna eat them. It may as well be me.
It's a cleaning crew. See, teamwork. I kill them, you eat them. It's all good. Zoe,
Yes?
What sort of arcane magics do you know?
I am quite proficient with most electrical spells.
Oh, you are a storm mage?
Indeed, I am.
Is she
One
still on
day
your
I'll be
shoulders?
known, being famous, and I just like raise my hands up while I'm on your shoulders.
this is the tallest you have ever been in your life.
Sky the limit.
Would you benefit from this destruction staff of shock more than I would?
Yes, gimme.
Yes.
Here you are.
And I'm going
It
to
is
dramatically have the wind to pick up where we are.
It is probably actually the right size for you.
It
would
was
be
child
a
size
big
for child wizards.
Well, it was goblin sized, and you're about around the same height.
Yeah, I'm
Goblin sized for goblin wizards.
I expect you to keep track of that sucker.
Deal.
So yes, I pilfer the spoils while they identify magic shit.
Okay. Amongst you, you're able to gain about 60 gold total.
Sweet. I have 60 gold.
Hey!
Amongst all of you.
I gotta buy me a pony. Well, not a pony, a doggo. They have.
Yeah, but it can be assumed that you guys are all picking through the corpses.
I killed some of those goblins.
Fine.
I want some of that money.
You can always ask your orc daddy for a pony.
This is true. I should ask Orc Daddy for a dog.
Share the spoils.
As far as the stats for the staff, Zoe, it basically functions just like a quarterstaff, but it allows you to. It's a spell focus.
Chill, alright.
Yeah. And when you use it to cast your spells, it allows you to deal an additional 1d4 shock damage.
I'm sorry, can you please repeat that? You cut out.
When you use it for shock spells, it allows you to deal another 1d4 lightning damage.
I'm sorry, you cut out when you were saying what kind of damage? How much?
1d4 lightning.
Sweet!
So now that you guys were able to take a quick breather, you guys hear a horn blare from over at the keep. Click, 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 clack, 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 click, click. Click, click, clack, clack.
I'm sorry, typing. Turn off the microphone when you're typing.
As far as bladed, it's all shit weapons.
Okay, nothing of interest.
They're goblins.
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure if they had looted their kill. It's a cycle of loot. Oh, and the bodies that I was looting, I only loot the bodies that I killed myself. That's why I asked. She doesn't care about other people's kills. They can deal with that.
Yeah. It's still in total. It's about 60 gold.
Okay.
To split among the party. So you guys hear a horn blare from up at the watchtower, and it's a typical call. It's a call for help.
Go check it out.
I want to go check it out.
Yeah, let's go.
I also think it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys kind of head up the slope, and between the ramparts, toward the keep, you managed to find the gate, which is kind of in disrepair at this point, on account of goblin attacks. And when you get inside, you find that there are still quite a few goblins in here, and Breton soldiers are fighting as if their lives depend on it, because their lives do depend on it. And there are even some. They look kind of like a weird combination between a lizard, or like a crocodile and a wolf, but without any fur. They're just these weird, horrible looking dog things that you guys know as Durzogs, that are also kind of fighting on the side of the goblins. And one of the soldiers on the ground near the gate kind of pulls himself up and leans against the wall, clutching at an arrow that's embedded in his chest. He just looks at you guys. Please, tell me you're here to help.
Yes, we are.
Good.
Like help end your suffering or help something else?
Can I go right over to the soldier and I know I'm not supposed to do this, but pull out the arrow and cast Cure Wounds on him?
Do you set down the cat first?
No.
Wait, you're gonna cure wounds a soldier who's dying, but not your cut to fuck
I will.
murder machine.
I'll get to you.
Okay.
The mage totem continues.
So he screams out as you yank the arrow out, and he even passes out when you do that, and the blood starts pouring from the wound. Go ahead and cast Cure Wounds.
I need a D8. Yeah? I have a D8. Is it 2D? I
No, it's a
forgot.
D8
I
unless
Okay. He's an NPC. He doesn't need more. Plus my intelligence modifier. So 6.
The wound stops bleeding and it kind of seals up a little bit. It's not perfect. You've done better work, but you know there's a battle on, so
He's an NPC. It's all right.
He's still unconscious, but at least he's not bleeding out.
I give him a little pat on the cheek and then move on.
So a burst of flame emits from one of the nearby walls, and you see a goblin mage fighting up against a Breton sorcerer. And the Breton sorcerer is kind of backed into a corner, and he looks drained. It looks like he's been fighting for a little while now. We're gonna keep the same initiative. So
a hex lasts for an hour. Would it still be active? Because it can be moved to a new target if my targets are dead.
It's no longer active because you were out of immediate danger back down on the road.
Okay.
So Tashtar, you're at top of the initiative.
Okay.
The nearest goblin is the goblin sorcerer fighting against the Breton sorcerer.
I'm going to. How far away is it? Like how many feet?
Maybe about 25.
Okay, I'm going to run up to the goblin sorcerer and cast inflict wounds.
Okay, go ahead and
third
cast.
Level.
Ouch.
Rolled hit. So, does a 19 hit?
A 19 does hit.
Okay, so this will be 5d10.
Holy crap.
Oh.
I'm casting it at 3rd level. So.
Oh, I know.
Got it. Or do I want to black for one big yes?
Not a ton of damage, but 15.
So you cast inflict wounds, and even as the goblin is raising his staff to throw another fireball at the Breton wizard, he suddenly clutches at his chest and collapses limply to the ground.
Nice.
The Breton looks up to you, kind of gives a nod of thanks, and looks at you guys. Mind if I join you?
Not at all.
He quickly grabs a couple of supplies that he dropped and runs towards you guys. He's like, the main watchtower up there, it's being overrun. We need to get in there and light the signal fires.
All right, then let's hurry.
Just need to
How far out
add.
is the tower?
The tower is a good 100 feet away. You'll have to sort of kind of fight your way through it a little bit.
See.
Is there a window up the top of the tower, and is there a window nearby?
Not really. There are some windows for the outer walls, but the outer walls are not connected to that watchtower.
Okay.
Okay, so
How is Zira's health right now?
I have taken 48 points out of my 74 points total.
she's fine.
No.
However, if you want me to keep going for any length of time, I would need some healing.
I have 1 healing potion. Since we're
Okay.
getting into combat again, you can have it.
Khajiit
Okay.
has healing potion if you have coin.
Because she's like, you're the only thing keeping me from being squishy and dead. Because she
No,
knows.
this is my fight tank. If that's there, I'll live. So I give goods to them.
You gotta put fuel in the tank.
Some fuel in the tank.
All right, so go ahead and take your healing potion.
Okay. What do healing potions do? They do.
I think a basic healing potion is like 1d4 plus your Constitution modifier, or your
Okay.
Endurance modifier in this case.
Okay. I will hold on to that.
Okay. So you guys work your way further into the courtyard. When a pack of 4 of these Durzogs kind of start charging towards you, they've kind of been let loose at this point. They're running toward anyone and anything that is not a goblin that they can shred and possibly nom.
How far away are they?
They're coming up within 15 feet. They kind of came around some of the rubble.
Okay. I rage, grin, and charge at the closest one.
Okay.
That'll be what I
It
do.
is currently Zoe's turn in the initiative.
Okay.
Wait, how far away are these dog things?
About 15 feet away.
Still raging. Shoot
Are
it
they
in the
close to each
face.
other?
They're semi far apart. They hunt just like wolves, so they're kind of spreading out around you guys.
I would like to shoot lightning bolt at them, only if I can chain them.
Let's see, they have to be how far apart to chain?
Lightning bolt's a line.
Yeah, it's a line.
It's a line?
I don't know if I can get any of them.
It's like 100-foot line.
I'll say because it's a pack of like 5, you are able to hit at least 2 of them.
Can you repeat that, please? You cut out.
Because there are 5 of them, I'll say you can hit at least 2 of them.
It cut out at the exact same moment it cut out the last time. Will you write it in the chat for me?
since there are about 5, you could probably hit 2 of them.
I'm gonna go for it then.
Okay.
Anything else that
They
falls
need to
in
make
that
a
line
dexterity
will also
saving
get
throw.
hit.
What was that, Zoe?
They need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okie dokes. What's the save DC?
14.
They both actually managed to succeed on that.
Alright, so sadly they only get half damage.
Half damage is better than no damage.
If there are any other creatures in that same line, they also friend or foe. It's just a 100-foot line.
Yeah, you're fine. It's not in front of you, it's off to the side.
No, I'm talking about any Bretons are about to have a very bad day.
There's a pile of rubble.
Oh, okay, good.
So the pile of rubble is going to have a bad day.
It was already having a bad day. Now it's just a little charred.
Go ahead and do your damage, Zoe.
Alright, so does spell attack bonus go into damage?
No.
No.
Unless you have an ability that...
Unless
I'm
you have
sorry,
an
you cut out
unless
when
you have an
said that.
ability unless you have an ability that allows for it.
Alright, I do not.
However, since you're using the staff, you do gain the additional D4 lightning damage.
And I get extra damage from my overlords, so I need to figure that out. I gotta do the math and then cut it in half.
You gotta do the math and then do some more math.
Dang it.
Doing all this math. Gotta be careful, don't get addicted to the math.
If you get addicted to the math, you will be an arithmo.
And Arithma what?
Or a math magician. Math magician!
Are we rounding up or down?
Always round down.
Unless stated otherwise.
Okay, so 9 points of damage to these 2 Durzogs.
I did my math wrong.
You did your math
Wait.
wrong?
How is...
29.
No.
29.
9 divided.
I was gonna say, how'd you get 19?
So 14.
We both saw my math was wrong at the same time.
So 14 lightning damage streaks out of your staff.
My toe beans!
Your toe beans are all splayed out. Your fur stands on end as electricity starts springing out from you along your staff toward the dog lizards and strikes your foes. And now, Amrit, you're starting to see what she meant by she can call down the sky.
Uh-huh. Am I getting the static electricity? Since
Yeah,
she's on my...
your hair's kind of standing on land.
It's really fluffy now.
no,
The comfiest perch.
You
in
know,
all
if you
of
ever wanted
Paris.
to try out a fro, now you know what it'll look like.
I'm too pretty for a fro.
I don't know, those pretty goldeny blondes and like really nice curls probably look super dope.
Yeah, but not a fro. Curls, yes. Fro, no.
Right now it's just frizzy as all hell.
Next in the turn order is Zira.
Okay, rage first.
Ask questions later.
Yeah. So I'm going to rage, and then I'm gonna go murder stuff.
Yeah! just girl things.
Yeah, just girl thing. Everyday girl stuff.
Well, there's 3 of the dog things.
Yeah, there's 3 dog things.
Come on, 12.
Are the other 2 still alive? The 2 that got lightninged?
Yes, they are.
Oh, so there's
Okay.
5 dog
I will
things.
hit whichever. I will go at whichever one.
Whichever one's closest.
Yeah.
That would be one of the first one in the line that got shocked.
Okay. Because I ideally want to kill them before they reach mages.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure the mages also greatly appreciate. Does a 16 hit?
A 16 does hit.
Okay. For 12 points of damage.
Very nice.
Is it still standing?
Yes, it is.
It gets hits again. That'll definitely hit.
Okay.
For 9 points of damage.
Okay.
Is it still standing?
It is. However, it's now got a significant limp. Its tail's tucked between its legs, and it is whimpering.
It does not look like it wants to continue running toward or the group.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so I could move on to another one potentially.
Potentially, yeah.
Okay, I will attack another one then.
Okay. I'm guessing the next one in the line.
Yep. That will hit for 10 points of damage.
Okay.
Okay, and how bad is that one hurt?
It's still standing.
Okay. They'll probably be able to close the gap between the mage if I don't cut these down enough, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I will go ahead and then use my action surge.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I was doing an extra 2 points of
just to speed up flow, since it's already been declared, we'll just continue moving on.
Okay. Okay, first attack hits for 11.
This is on the same wolf or the next one?
The second one.
Okay. 11 damage, you said?
Yeah.
It's also now limping and whimpering.
Okay, then I will move on to the next one.
The next one is about 15 feet away.
Okay, I have a movement of 30, so I can get over there.
Okay.
That will hit for
I heard you say 12. Okay. Yeah, I heard you say it in the other room.
okay. And then last attack does a 16 hit?
16 does hit, yes.
Okay. Then that is also 12.
Okay. Still standing.
And that is my turn.
Holy crap. Damage machine.
Yes.
After Zira.
I have no social skills.
After Zira is our high elf.
Okay. The one that Zira just hit, that's not afraid and turning tail.
Mhm.
I want to cast Toll of Dead on that side.
Okay.
So wisdom save, please, or whatever it's called.
Willpower.
Willpower save.
It succeeded.
Okay. Does it get half? Checking. Nope. Okay, it's fine.
Okay. Next up would be your new Breton friend. He lifts his staff and hurls a mote of flame at one of the wolves that has circled around behind you guys. And yeah, he hurls a bolt of flame at them. And succeeds in hitting, so he's going to deal 1d10 fire damage.
Woo!
With an additional d4 as he is using a fire destruction staff.
Awesome sauce.
Dealing 9 damage to the wolf.
Nice.
Okay. After him, it's the doggo's turn. The wolf that you were just attacking, Zira, lunges at you.
Okay.
And let's see. And he is going to nat 20.
Okay.
Let's see here.
This is why I rage.
It's actually not too bad. It's, 8 piercing damage, and I need you to make a DC, or I need you to make a strength saving throw for me.
A what?
A strength saving throw.
Nat 20.
You are not knocked prone.
Okay.
Okay. Next doggos. The one that the Breton hurled at is going to charge forward, along with the other doggo that has come around behind. One doggo is going to attack the Breton. The other one is going to attack Amrit and, by extension, Zoe.
No.
Aren't I
Like-
too tall for it to reach her?
It won't reach her, but you guys are both in the same location. So if you fall,
Yes, it's unhappily.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the first one attacks for a 21 versus your AC.
My AC?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that'll hit.
Okay.
Commoners can hit you.
You're gonna take 10 piercing damage.
10 damage. Pencil? Where are you at, Pencil?
I'm probably under the cat. Do you want a pencil?
Yeah. No, pencil. No, pencil is below the key. Alright, so 10 damage. Okay.
Go ahead and make a strength save.
Oh god, this is not gonna be good. Bless my dice. 10.
Okay. You are pulled to the ground by the wolf. Zoe, please make a dexterity save.
Agility! Tumble, kitty, tumble! Tumble like your life depends on it, cause it does.
I'm trying to tumble, but all I did was 11.
You in true cat fashion, you land on your feet.
Oh, okay.
Phew.
One last thing for you, Emery. I need you to make an endurance saving throw for me, please.
Okay, that's also not great, but not terrible. That was totally cocked, unfortunately. Okay, 7.
After you fall to the ground, especially like in your leg near where the Durzog bit you, your knee is in a lot of pain. And your knee is in a lot of pain near where the dog bit you.
Okay.
And you already know what this is. You've seen it before on the battlefield. It's likely that you had contracted rock joint already. And luckily it's easily treated.
Okay.
So Zoe, you managed to land on your feet, so you're doing all right. The second wolf is attacking your Breton friend, and does in fact hit. He takes 5 damage. He's still standing. However, he did not succeed on his strength check, so he's also knocked prone. So you guys are both basically being mauled by lizard dogs. So next up would be Toshtar once again.
Okay. I'm going to do my best to get some dogs off people.
Okay.
So I'm going to run up and cast inflict wounds on one of them.
Alrighty. Go for it. Which one? The one on Amrit or the one on Breton Mage?
Amrit.
Okay.
Or Amrit. That does not hit.
Okay. Anything else you're able to do on your turn?
Yes. As a bonus action, I'm going to use the Dark Blade ability Shielding Aura,
Mm-hmm.
which I will gain resistances to all damage and until the end of my next turn, and any hostile things that end its turn within 10 feet of me take 8 damage.
Oh, nice. All right. After Toshtar is Zoe.
That's me. So tell me about the wolf that's attacking Imrit.
Well, it's pretty
Amrit.
much on top of Amrit and is currently mauling your high elf friend.
That's not okay.
Her mount is being eaten.
I'm going to try to use lightning lure on it to get it to move off.
Okay, go for it.
And he needs to make a strength save.
How does a 20 do?
Too well.
I believe he still takes damage, though.
Considering that lightning lure is a low spell, it only is damage if it gets moved. So it's just like a lot of crackling electricity that happens just as it first stands up, I guess.
But you get points for cinematics. Are you using Are you using the staff?
Yes. Just assume I'm always using that staff.
I'll
now,
allow
because
you to.
that's really
I'll allow you to throw on a d4 of shock damage.
If I get the D4, then I also get to use my overload ability.
Oh dear.
It just adds 3 damage, so
Yeah, go for it.
I'm down.
5 damage. Okay, so You electrocute this dog, and it immediately stops mauling Amrit and looks right at you.
I hiss at it, real big. I puff my foot. I'm so scary.
I'm gonna
He has all 3 feet of you. Terrifying.
I'm gonna give you a point of inspiration for that, or a point of luck rather.
I'm gonna need some luck right now.
Next up is Zira, Murder Machine. Go.
Okay. There's one that was attacking me that is yet to turn tail and run.
Mm-hmm.
Attack that one.
Okay.
That will definitely hit. For 12 points of damage.
You actually manage to cut off one of its legs, and it falls to the ground whimpering.
Cool. Is it no longer a problem to me?
It's gonna have a hard time moving forward.
Okay. Does it look like I'm gonna need to intervene on the one?
The one that's doing what?
The one that is snarling at Zoe. Look like it needs to be some taken care of. Some good old animal handling.
Maybe, but your Breton spellcaster's still being mauled.
I don't know that dude.
But he is fighting on your side.
Wow. I literally don't know that dude.
It's up to you.
That's not the point.
I was already killing doggos when he says
Point.
Go for it.
if I'm gonna save everyone who's being mauled, I'm gonna hear all.
We're gonna be here all day.
Go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
But our kitty is a problem if she gets eaten because she could fit in its mouth.
Go for it.
You're my friend, looking out for me.
That will hit for 9 points of damage.
Very nice. It is still standing.
Then I will use my last attack and hits again. Nat 20.
Alrighty.
Woo!
I murder it. For
Did a murder just for me.
$19 points of damage.
You and Zoe are sharing a bonding moment here.
Yeah.
As you run your blade through the dog's ass and out its back.
Yay! It is now also no longer standing on Emery.
No, now it's laying dead on Amrit.
Could I use the momentum of my strike to try to, I guess, push it away
I
as
would
I stab it?
I would allow that as an action.
Okay. Nope, I'm all out of action surges. Sorry, bro. Enjoy whatever weight that thing weighs. And then I want to yell at the other dog thing that's attacking the Breton. See if I can maybe scare it away.
You yell at it, but it's still going to town.
Okay. I have yet to draw. I did not draw its attention.
Yeah. It is now Amrit's turn.
Okay. You have a dead doggo on you.
Okay, so is the
Is the doggo what?
the doggo that's attacking the Breton, is he hurt at all?
No.
Okay.
You might want to get out from underneath the one that.
I'm not too worried about it. If I shoot a firebolt, do I run the risk of hitting the Breton?
Yes.
Okay. In which case, I will cast Magic Missile, because those don't miss.
Okay.
That's a first level spell. Okay, so 2 more Magicka points. 2. And then it's 1d4 plus, I think. I haven't made my spell card yet. I needed to do that.
I have
Let me
all
put
the
this
tabs
one.
on my computer right now.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
up?
Okay, so
Spells.
4 moat. Right. Okay, 3. It's 3. Okay, so 3d4. Okay. Alright, time to roll. Eight, 9, 10, 11 damage.
Nice.
Pew, 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 pew.
Pew pew pew.
Okay. Are you able to do anything else on your turn?
That was an action. I want to say. Ugh. Why
Yeah.
did I close the book?
Action.
An action.
Yeah.
How do you do casting a second spell of a bonus action on the same turn?
I would allow it.
Okay.
As long
If
as it's a
under
bonus
certain
action.
level?
Yeah, if
As
it's
long as
on.
it's bonus action?
Yeah, if it's a fairly low level spell, yeah.
Yes. Okay, I just want to do healing word
Oh yeah, that is.
on our little tank here.
Yay! Small heal.
4 plus 5. Ugh.
What is the healing word?
It's a ranged
No.
heal spell.
He wants to know the actual word. It's probably something in Old Maris because I'm a posh bitch. I will figure that out in a second. I rolled a 4, so
It translates
less dead.
It translates to what?
less dead.
So have 9 HP.
Because that would totally be the sort of dick thing an elf would do.
No, I'll figure it out. Give me a couple minutes.
It sounds so fancy. What a gay. Cheese.
No, it's probably their word for like new life or.
Okay.
Can't do that. I found the key. Belly button key. Okay, and that's all I want to do on my turn.
Okay.
Done.
Next up is the Breton. And he's struggling to get this dog off of him, but he's going to try. And he's going to fail. Now it's dog's turn.
Assuming he survives, give me 6 seconds.
Doggo hits. And you guys watch as the dog's long, jagged canines end up sinking into the Breton's neck and jerk just quickly enough to snap his neck.
Oh. Is he dead or is he at 0?
He did.
Do they have 0 at NPC? Or
No,
are they
and Did.
no, what's his name?
Yeah, right?
What's his name? Oh.
You only meant well.
Wow, you guys are mean.
um,
Am I the only slightly good character here?
I had on the beach when we escaped prison, people of my own country tried to attack me. She gives no fucks right now.
When we were escaping prison, I let out a bunch of people.
You
I didn't even know
Well,
what they
first.
did. I just let them out just cause.
God. She also only gives half fucks about cannibal. She's like, he's useful, but I really stop doing that disgusting thing.
I'm just gonna play
Or
with
just do it in private.
Toshtar, it's your turn. Oh, the wolf takes
Uh,
damage because of you, doesn't it?
If it's 10 feet of me, yes.
Yep. That's how much damage?
8.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna go run up to it and stab it with my short sword. Attempt so.
Do the stab.
What is it with you playing with belly button?
Shh. I can hear you.
I'm going to
He
assume a
heard you.
27 will hit.
Yes.
And it takes 9 piercing damage.
Nice. This thing's now struggling to stand. Zoe.
What's left?
Just the one that that Toshtar stabbed. The other ones that weren't quite dead have kind of limped out.
Alright, so should we just making my way to the tower? Or be like, let me back on your head?
Well, this one's
Let me
still
back up.
this one's still standing. It's just worse for the wear.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave it to Toshtar to fight. Does it look like he has it?
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm just
If
gonna
things
go
go
up,
poorly enough where I die, I probably deserved it.
All right. Then after Zoe is Zira.
Okay, are we wanting to move forward? Is that what the kitty has demanded? Charge ahead?
Kitty. Well, one of the kitties wants to move forward. The other one's still fighting with a wolf.
I want up.
Okay. Since the squishies are trying to, then I'm going to start clearing a path.
Okay.
Oh wait, is there still a doggo on top of?
Yeah, I haven't gotten it off yet.
How heavy is the dog?
Do a strength check.
Well, okay, I'm still raging, so advantage. Nat 20 for a.
Oh yeah, you shove it off.
Yeah. Can I shove it into the other dog? That was
No,
next the...
no, too far.
Oh. Okay. Darn. Okay. Then I will shove off the dog and help Emery to his feet.
Okay, Emery, your turn.
Okay, I get up.
Okay.
Are we moving ahead?
Yes.
I think you
want me
guys
back on my
are.
shoulder?
Please.
I just picture you raising your paws like, pick me up.
Like that one kitty that goes, stands on its hind legs, stretches its little paws up above its head, and it's like, up.
Yeah.
Okay, you're little enough. I could probably just scoop you and put you on my shoulder.
Yay!
Toshtar. The dog's going to try to make a last-ditch effort at you with a 17.
My AC is 17.
Defender wins. So you're fine, and it's your turn again.
I'm just going to stab it again.
Okay.
Nat 20.
Very nice. How do you kill this dog?
I'm just gonna cut off its head.
You're just like, that's it. I hate this dog. Slice. All right. So you guys managed to fight your way closer to the watchtower. Up in front of the watchtower are 4 more goblins. These ones are all spellcasters.
My favorite.
You're like, these ones are squishy.
Oh, so squishy.
We'll keep the initiative order for expediency. So there are 4 of them, all kind of in a semicircle outside the doorway to the watchtower.
Fireball formation.
And in the watchtower doorway, there are a couple of soldiers. One looks like he might have been the leader here at the keep, and one of them's a sorcerer. Tashdar, you've got the go ahead.
I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
That will not hit.
Okay. Next up is Zoe.
So what are we facing right now?
4 more goblins in front of the watchtower.
I'm going to shoot them with my crossbow.
You guys are about 25 feet away.
21 to shoot.
Oh yeah, that hits.
7 derblage.
7 derblage to the gerblin. Okay. Anything else on your turn?
That'll be all, thank you.
Okay. Zira, do what you do best.
It hasn't been very long since one section to the other section, right? Would I still be
Oh, you're
raging, or do I
still
need
still
to-
raging. You're still raging.
Okay. Cool. All right. Attack numero uno. Does a 21 hit the squishy mage?
Yes, it does.
Yay, squishy mage. For 12 points of damage.
Very nice.
Is squishy mage still up?
Yep.
Squishy mage gets attacked again. Does a 16 hit the
Sorry?
16
Yes.
for max damage, so 15?
You manage to slice his arms off before he gets off a spell, and then as he's sitting there looking at his limp arms on the ground, his head goes flying.
Okay. And then I will attack a different mage.
Okay.
That will hit.
Mhm.
And he takes 11 points of damage.
Okay. Still standing.
Okay. How bad is he looking?
He's not looking good.
Alright, how bad is the other one that's remaining?
There are 2 other ones remaining. One has a crossbow bolt embedded in his back, and the other one is unharmed, but now starting to turn toward you because holy crap.
So I chopped one dude's arms off. I'm attacking one. There's another one injured, and there's one who's been unharmed.
Mm-hmm.
Is the one who's been unharmed within 5 feet?
No.
Okay. Is there one within 5 feet of the guy I just...
No, they were pretty evenly spaced out.
Okay. Then that is my turn.
Okay. Next up is Amrit.
Okay. Firebolt. I'm going to use another focus if I can.
Okay.
Okay, so first firebolt on one of the wounded ones.
Okay.
That'll hit.
Mhm.
For 2d10. That's pretty nice. For 14 damage.
He bursts into flames and then crumples to the ground. This was the one that had the crossbow in his back. And the soldiers in the doorway are starting to cheer.
Okay, second firebolt. Does a 16 hit him?
No.
Okay, then that one goes wide.
Okay. It smacks harmlessly into the tower wall.
That's fine. I'll take it.
One of the tower guards charges forward because now they've been emboldened by the attack you guys are making. So he runs forward to attack the one that you're currently engaged with, Sarah.
Okay.
And manages to hit with an unnatural 20.
Nice.
Yeah. And so he swings his great sword. Where did that die go? There it is. Dealing a lovely 10 points of damage, and you watch as he cleaves this goblin in two.
Nice.
And he kind of gives a smile and a nod at you. Another guard rushes forward toward the unharmed goblin, and is also going to attack with a nat 20.
Woo!
So he breaks out a couple of daggers and does the swingy, slashy slash.
Shankity shank shank.
Yes. For 8 damage. And the last one, the tower leader, he is going to give off a proud battle cry, and you guys immediately recognize the language that he cries out in. Or not even language, because there's only one area that you know of where someone goes. Well, basically, he shouts out a Nord battle cry. That's good enough.
Nice.
And he misses with his sword, but he's still proud of how things are going now.
You just got a little overexcited and swung
just a little too much to the left. Tashdar, there is one left standing.
Okay. I'm gonna go over cast influence.
You're casting what?
Inflict wound.
Okay.
And does a 14 hit?
A 14 does not hit. Would you like to do anything else on your turn?
No.
Okay. After Tosh is Zoe.
That's me. What's the situation looking like?
Only one Gerblin left standing. He's currently being attacked by one of the guard tower's guards.
He got set. We could just go forward then.
Okay.
go forward where?
I don't know. Where go up? Yes.
I think we're where we were supposed to go.
Are we at the top of the tower?
You guys are at the tower. You're just kind of fighting off the last of the goblins that have been preventing these soldiers from getting in and lighting the watchfire.
Oh, so we didn't have to go inside the tower and light a fire?
These guys were trying to do the same thing. You guys managed to kind of meet up right as they were being attacked, so...
Okay, then I guess I'll shoot the goblin. I misunderstood what we were doing.
It's all good.
What we're doing is much simpler.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't require running upstairs.
16?
16 does not hit.
Okay.
The crossbow bolt whiffs and hits the ground. Zira.
Okay. This is the only one left?
Yep.
Not for long. Nat 20.
Yeah, he did. How did you kill him?
So she kind of like runs up, takes her sword, stabs it through his chest, and uses the momentum.
Uses the momentum to
Like,
what?
she lifts him up off the ground as she stabs him in the chest.
This is a terrifying little Redguard.
And she lets out a battle cry of her own.
A little murder blender.
She is raging, so her eyes kind of have this.
Kind of have what?
They glow, kind of like glow embers.
Okay, so the guard captain looks to you guys. Thank you so much. Let's get that fire lit, and he points to you guys. Keep watch for the moment. We shouldn't be long.
I hand him a smoldering goblin piece.
He takes it gratefully, and and within less than a minute, at the top of the watchtower, you guys see a large green signal fire erupt in the brazier at the top. And she maybe about half an hour later, you guys had a few skirmishes here and there, but after maybe half an hour, Covenant soldiers start coming in and reclaiming the fort, and you guys are involved in this lovely little battle that basically cleans out what's left of the goblins and Durzogs.
Nice.
Yeah. When all is said and done, the guard captain walks up to you guys and just, thank you so much for your help out here. I don't think we would have been able to get those reinforcements in time if it weren't for you guys coming in and clearing those out.
Our pleasure.
Is there any way that the Covenant can repay you?
Pay us. Pay me.
This cat just hands out of off the money. Grabby hand.
Money, please.
Give me that cash.
Well, I'm afraid one of the issues that we're facing is the goblins broke into the vault that we had here, so we're lacking in coin. But if there's anything else we can give, maybe if you're traveling, an armed escort, or perhaps, there might be a few horses left in the stable. Assuming the goblins didn't take them all and eat them.
Sure. We will take whatever you are able and comfortable.
He smiles and nods, and then kind of looks inquisitively at Zira and says, "Can I have a talk with you for a moment?"
She kind of gives him that look of, I don't know if I like where this is going, but she nods. And she kind of cleans off her blades and puts them back in their sheath.
So he pulls you off to the side. The rest of you can have a chance to rest up. Your wounds are tended to. You're given some food from what they were able to recover from the stores. And the guard looks to you. He says, "I do recognize who you are, and I'm not going to tell you where you should go or why. But I do want you to know that your father is looking for you."
Wait, you cut out. What did he say?
Where did I cut out at?
Right after he says, "I do recognize you." And then that was it. So all I had was, "Oh shit."
Says, "I'm not going to tell you where to go or why, but as it seems like you can handle yourself. but do know that your father is alive and is looking for you.
Okay. She asks if he could get word to him.
Anything, just let me know, and I'll make sure a letter gets to Hammerfell.
Okay. Then yeah, she tells him to let her father know that she was all that was left, and there is a blood debt to be paid.
He nods and writes it down. Calls over a messenger and sends him on his way. And he looks to you. He says, "Those of us here at this fort are indebted to all of you. Should you need help, should you need any help with this blood debt, feel free to send word, and I'll do what I can to send at least a small contingent of soldiers your way."
But I want money.
This is a private conversation, tiny cat.
I just picture the cat kind of wandered up while you guys were talking and just out of the blue. But I want money.
I'm going to loot the corpses and see if I can find any herb things.
Any herb things?
Yes.
Go ahead and do a nature check for me, please.
Okie dokes. Nature check. 19.
Lovely. You do manage to find some things on the goblins' bodies.
Other than gold?
Other than gold. You find that some of them have some mushrooms and other herbs on them. You get a couple of dried mushrooms that you recognize as Namira's rock or Namira's rot, as well as blue entaloma, columbine, and you do find a piece of nirnroot.
Sorry, it was Namira's rot, blue entaloma. What was the rest of it? Yes. Type them. Yes.
In terms of gold that you guys were able to loot off of the goblins, you find a good 90 gold to split amongst yourselves.
Damn. There's 3 of us, so 30 gold each? No, there's 4 of us.
Yeah. Toshtar, are you wearing the ring?
No, I have not put it on yet.
Okay.
No, there's just 4. The other one of them's sick.
Oh, right. Yeah, there's 4 of us. Okay.
There are 4 of us active. We're getting the monies right now.
Okay, so I'm going to give everyone 20 gold. I'm taking the danger.
Nice. And then littered among the goblins as you're scrounging, Amrit, you do find that at least one of the goblin mages has a little talisman. And it does have the symbol of the worm cult on it. You don't think the goblin was part of the worm cult. He probably filched it off of someone else. But there is a little bit of residual magical energy in it.
I'm going to pocket that.
Okay.
Ideally, while our little murder
Machine is having a private chat.
Go ahead and roll your sleight of hand, motherfucker.
You're talking to the dude.
You hope.
Talking to the dude.
It's while you're talking to the dude.
Okay.
So
you just better hope she never catches it on you and mistakes it as yours. You're gonna have a very bad night.
What kind of magical energy's on it? Would I have to identify it now?
No, it's definitely necromantic.
Okay, I'll look at that later. Okay, got it.
And so the guards allow you guys to stay as long as you need to recoup and heal up and everything. And you guys prepare to head out head out on the way. Just as off in the distance, less than a day's ride away, you hear the sound of a large otherworldly horn, and in the sky, a large wheel appears, and chains drop to the ground.
Oh, look, one of those things again.
Oh god, not one of those again.
And that's where we'll leave off.
All right.
So, for those of you watching, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. Feel free to share this with other people. And if you're interested in playing an Elder Scrolls